Here is the MicorLED for ED403 about coral reef ecology and management. Coral reefs are one of the richest and most productive ecosystems in the world. Coral reefs are under serious threat globally, not least in the Pacific region. This course addresses this and examines the origins of coral reefs, the biology of corals and other reef organisms, ecosystem structure and function, biodiversity values, human uses and values, major issues, and environmental management and sustainable use of reef resources. However, for this 15-minute learning task, we're only going to be looking at the course learning outcome of number 2, explain the classification and biology of corals. Transition from face-to-face and fully online is part of this LED. Previously, the classification of corals was handled by a mix of lectures and practical sessions and practical assessments. The learning task here is that from a 15-minute micro-teaching session, the students will be able to describe the diversity of coral environment, note the key coral skeleton features, and be able to utilize key guides. The strategy I'm going to use to deliver this is a mixture of informative video, social learning of classification techniques, interactive taxonomic quizzes, and open book online assessments. We're going to focus on using videos that are real, and here we're going to try to assist students to appreciate the diversity and mechanism to describe the coral reef system. We can go through a video like this and basically describe it as though we were swimming along. We can talk about what you might see, why there's certain things there. In other words, introduce them on a real level. This particular video was taken in Laluvia, just near Suva, Fiji. We're then going to have social learning of classification techniques, and here we're going to get students to form groups independently of the lecturer and collectively explore a range of coral classification approaches. Here we're going to be using a number of resources, particularly a book called BYO Guides on coral reefs. As part of this learning process, there'll be an interactive taxonomic quizzes. So essentially the students will be shown particular examples of the reef and asked to explore what the options might be in terms of taxonomic identification. The interesting thing here is trying to get them to do this collectively. For this formative assessment, they'll get immediate feedback and get detailed explanations as to why certain areas were successful or not successful in terms of classification, and they'll get handy notes on areas of common confusion. We'll also use an open book online assessment. So here we're going to actually have a transect, a real world transect, and students will be asked to classify the transect. You can see it in this picture. This is using an online system here where the picture is shown and you have to basically say what you think each of the random dots are. You can see them listed as numbers there. We have a series of these, and at the end you had a real transect, and then you can press submit and actually have a description of that coral reef transect. Hence the learning educational design is a mixture of content and engagement going through to social interaction and enforcement, followed by formative assessment, real world summative assessment, and all I've been able to link back to the various components of the module. And we particularly like the idea that taxonomy is an area where students are encouraged to argue about a particular science, because a lot of it is actually strongly associated with almost art. Thank you.